has moved along now, leaving silver on the street. The morning sits quietly in the spaces in between. The door opens softly, a little breeze comes through, bringing the scent of wet pavement and something new. A jacket hangs by the window, a chair slides across the floor. The coffee starts to bloom like it has so many times before. No one seems in a hurry, not today. Coffee after rain, slowly warming the room. Steam rising with the sunlight in the quiet of the morning. Coffee after rain, nothing more is needed. Just a little time and a place to stay. The first cup finds its owner, the first page starts to turn. Outside the city wakes up, but there's no need to rush. The clouds keep drifting farther, the light keeps moving near, and every small familiar sound feels welcome here. A conversation starts somewhere, soft enough to miss the kind of ordinary moment people often forget. Sometimes the best mornings arrive like this. Coffee after rain, slowly warming the room. Steam rising with the sunlight in the quiet of the morning. Coffee after rain, nothing more is needed. Just a little time and a place to stay. Maybe that's enough, a warm cup in your hands, the sound of distant voices and sunlight on the table. Maybe that's enough for a beautiful day. Coffee after rain, the room keeps breathing softly. The world moves a little slower for a little while. Coffee after rain, the morning settling in, like it never needed to be anything more. Like it never needed to be anything more. The sunlight finds the tables long before the guests arrive. Golden lines across the room, quiet but alive. The coffee starts brewing, the front door stays closed for just a little longer before the morning grows. I can almost hear the laughter before it reaches here. Like the room already knows who will appear. Every chair is waiting for someone to belong. Sunlight on empty tables, waiting for familiar faces. Coffee cups and conversations find be great. Someone might bring a notebook, someone might bring a friend, someone may stay an hour and wish it wouldn't end. A couple by the window, a student in the corner, a father and his daughter, sharing stories over coffee. The room feels full already, even before they arrive. Like all those little moments are waiting just outside. The best part of the morning is still on its way. Sunlight on empty tables, waiting for familiar faces, coffee cups and conversations finding their places. Sunlight on empty tables, the morning taking shape. Another ordinary day, getting ready to be great. Some people come for coffee, some people come to stay. Some people find a memory they'll carry through the day. Maybe that's the magic of places built this way. A little warmth and kindness in the middle of the day. Sunlight on empty tables, now the room is filling up. The sound of friendly voices and the clink of coffee cups. Sunlight on empty tables, the day has finally begun. And somehow every morning feels like a welcome one. Somehow every morning feels like a welcome one. Every Tuesday morning, just a little after 10, he walks through the same doorway and waves to everyone. The same old folded newspaper, the same familiar seat, the same cup of coffee waiting by his sleeve. He always starts a crossword before the coffee cools and disappears into a world of letters, lines, and clues. Some people watch the city, some watch the passing rain. He watches little boxes waiting for a name. The Crossword Gentleman, lost somewhere in the page, while the whole world keeps moving at its ordinary pace. The Crossword Gentleman never seems to mind spending half the morning a clue at a time. The sunlight shifts across the room, the lunch crowd comes and goes. The coffee cup grows colder, but he hardly seems to know. The student takes the window seat, the couple shares a laugh. The day keeps writing chapters as the hours quietly pass. Then someone asks the time aloud from somewhere near the door. He looks down at his wristwatch like he's never seen it before. The chair slides back so quickly, everybody starts to smile. The crossword gentleman, lost somewhere in the page, while the whole world keeps moving at its ordinary pace. The crossword gentleman never seems to mind spending half the morning a clue at a time. Maybe that's the secret, maybe that's the trick, finding something worth enjoying and staying there a little bit. In a world that's always rushing, he somehow found a way to make an ordinary hour feel like a holiday. The crossword gentleman, hurrying out the door, leaving half a puzzle waiting there for more. The crossword gentleman, already running late, but somehow leaving laughter behind him as he goes. Leaving laughter behind him as he goes. Every Friday morning, just a little after 10, they walk through the doorway and take the same seats again. The table by the window, the one beside the plants, the place where sunlight lingers a little longer than the rest. The coffee order never changes, neither does the smile. And somehow they can fill a room just by staying for a while. I don't know every story, but I know they're glad they came. The window seat friends talking through the morning, one cup after another, one story at a time. The window seat friends laughing by the sunlight, making ordinary hours feel a little brighter. Sometimes they talk about family, sometimes they talk about work, sometimes they simply watch the street and let the silence work. The city keeps on moving, cars rolling by outside, but their little corner of the world always seems untouched by time. A laugh rises from the table, and somebody turns to look, not because they're loud, but because happiness is hard to miss. Some friendships grow slowly, and stay for years. The window seat friends talking through the morning, one cup after another, one story at a time. The window seat friends laughing by the sunlight, making ordinary hours feel a little brighter. Maybe that's what people need more than they realize. A familiar face, a little time, a place where nobody hurries, and every conversation matters. The window seat friend still sitting by the sunlight, while another busy afternoon begins outside. The window seat friends smiling as they leave, already looking forward to next week's coffee. Already looking forward to next week's coffee. She doesn't come here often, maybe once a month or two. Always by the window, always with a different view. A notebook on the table, a pen held in her hand. While the rest of us keep scrolling, she still writes what she can. The coffee slowly cools beside her, the pages slowly fill, and somehow all the noise around her seems completely still. I never ask who she's writing or where the letters go. Letters and lattes written in the sunlight, stories finding paper, one line at a time. Letters and lattes, a quiet little ritual in a world that moves too quickly. She takes her time. The lunch crowd comes and goes, the music softly plays. The city keeps on turning through another busy day. She pauses for a moment and looks outside the glass, watching people hurry by as the afternoon goes past. Then she smiles at something written and turns another page, like she's having a conversation with someone far away. Some words are worth keeping long after they are read. Letters and lattes written in the sunlight, stories finding paper, one line at a time. Letters and lattes, a quiet little ritual in a world that moves too quickly. She takes her time. Maybe someone far away will read those words tonight. Maybe they'll feel closer, maybe they'll smile. Maybe that's enough to make a day feel good. Letters and lattes, the notebook finally closing, the sunlight moving slowly, a across the wooden floor. Ladders and lattes, another page completed, and another small reminder that words still matter. Another small reminder that words still matter. The sky was clear an hour ago, or maybe even less. A few small clouds were gathering, but nobody could guess. Then little drops appeared upon the window glass, and suddenly the whole cafe was watching people pass. Umbrellas started opening across the busy street, and strangers hurried quickly, looking for somewhere warm to be. The room grew louder, one smile at a time. When the rain came back, so did everybody, shaking off the weather and finding somewhere warm. When the rain came back, the room filled up with stories, coffee cups and laughter, sheltered from the storm. A family took the corner booth, 2 students shared a chair. Someone moved beside the window just to watch the rain out there. Wet footprints crossed the floorboards, the line grew by the door, and every empty table wasn't empty anymore. The smell of coffee deepened, the music drifted by, and somehow all the rainy weather made the room feel more alive. Outside the world was rushing, inside nobody was. When the rain came back, so did everybody, shaking off the weather and finding somewhere warm. When the rain came back, the room filled up with stories, coffee cups and laughter, sheltered from the storm. Maybe that's the secret of rainy afternoons, people finding little places that feel a bit like home. A warm drink in your hands, a window full of rain, and nowhere else you need to be for a little while. When the rain came back, the room was full of voices, the kind that make a place feel smaller in the best way. When the rain came back, nobody seemed unhappy, watching drops roll slowly down the window pane. Watching drops roll slowly down the window pane. Some people order coffee, some people order tea, some people come and go as quietly as the breeze. every now and then someone walks through the door, and somehow all the little things feel brighter than before. A smile before the greeting, a joke before the drink, the kind of person who can change the mood before you think. You can feel it happening before they've crossed the room. The customer who brings sunshine without even trying to. A little extra laughter in everything they do. The customer who brings sunshine, the kind you hope to see. The sort of familiar face that makes the day feel easy. They know a few names, they ask how people are. They notice little changes and remember little parts. Nothing ever complicated, nothing loud or grand, just a way of making people feel a little more at home. And somehow when they leave, the room stays bright a while, like a song that keeps on playing after the music stops. Some people carry weather, some people carry light. The customer who brings sunshine without even trying to. A little extra laughter in everything they do. The customer who brings sunshine, the kind you hope to see. The sort of familiar face that makes the day feel easy. Maybe that's a gift more valuable than gold. The simple art of helping people feel a little less alone. The customer who brings sunshine, walking through the doorway, making ordinary mornings feel a little more alive. Oh, the customer who brings sunshine, already on their way, and somehow everybody's smiling before they even stay. Somehow everybody's smiling before they even stay. The afternoon has softened into something slow and gold. The busiest hours are over, the stories have been told. A chair gets pushed back gently, a goodbye fills the air. Someone waves across the room before disappearing somewhere. The coffee machine is quieter now, the line is finally gone, and the room feels different somehow, but still comfortably warm. Not every day is perfect, but this one wasn't bad. One more cup before closing, one more song before the night. A little warmth remaining in the fading light. One more cup before closing, quiet smile, the kind of simple happiness that makes the day worthwhile. A book lies on a table, forgotten for a while. Someone left a handwritten note, someone left a smile. The sunlight leaves the window, the shadows slowly grow, and everything starts settling into an easier flow. The room remembers laughter long after people leave, like the walls are holding stories they don't want to lose. Some moments leave so softly, you hardly see them go. One more cup before closing, one more song before the night, a little warmth remaining in the fading light. One more cup before closing, one more quiet smile, the kind of simple happiness that makes the day worthwhile. Tomorrow someone new will come, tomorrow someone will stay. Tomorrow there'll be fresh stories waiting in the day. But for now, the room is resting, and that's enough for me. One more cup before closing, the light's a little low, the room still feels alive somehow, even as people go. One more cup before closing, another good day done, and another waiting quietly for tomorrow to begin. Another good day done, for tomorrow to begin. The bell above the doorway rings at almost 2:30, and before a single word is said, I already know it's you. The same seat by the window, the same smile every time, the same little pause before you say the order on your mind. But truth be told, you never have to ask. The coffee's almost ready before you reach the glass. Some things change each season, some things stay the same. The usual order, the usual place, a familiar little rhythm in the middle of the day. The usual order, the usual smile, the kind of simple routine that makes a place worthwhile. Outside, the weather changes, the months come and go. People move to different cities and follow different roads, but every few afternoons the doorway swings apart, and another ordinary visit feels strangely close to home. A coffee and a greeting, nothing grand or new, things we miss the most. The usual order, the usual place, a familiar little rhythm in the middle of the day. The usual order, the usual smile, the kind of simple routine that makes a place worthwhile. Maybe that's what comfort is, not excitement every day, but knowing there'll be something good waiting on the way. A favorite cup, a familiar room, a welcome face on an ordinary afternoon. The usual order, the usual place, another quiet afternoon passing by with grace. The usual order, the usual smile, and somehow all these little things make the day worthwhile. Somehow all these little things make the day worthwhile. Somewhere near the back wall, a laugh rises again. Not loud enough to interrupt, but loud enough to spread. I can't hear the conversation, only pieces here and there. A name, a joke, a memory floating through the air. The cups keep getting refilled, the hours keep rolling on, and somehow that one little table feels like its own song. Whatever they're talking about, it must be something good. The table that couldn't stop laughing, making the whole room smile, turning an ordinary afternoon into something worthwhile. The table that couldn't stop laughing, just a few seats away, bringing a little extra sunshine into the day. One story leads to another, then another after that. Every few minutes someone says, "Wait, tell that one again." Even people sitting nearby start smiling to themselves, the kind of happiness that's hard to keep only to one table. Outside, the city carries on, busy as before. Inside, the room feels warmer than it did an hour ago. Some joy arrives quietly and stays a while. The table that couldn't stop laughing, making the whole room smile, turning an ordinary afternoon into something worthwhile. The table that couldn't stop laughing, just a few seats away, bringing a little extra sunshine into the day. Maybe that's the secret of places people love, not the coffee by itself, but the people gathered there, the stories and the laughter, the moments that remain long after everyone has gone home again. The table that couldn't stop laughing, still smiling as they leave. The room feels strange somehow their happiness is still hanging around. Somehow their happiness is still hanging around. Getting busy, every table nearly full. The sound of cups and quiet talk drifting through the room. Then someone by the doorway looked around and smiled, searching for a place to sit just for a little while. A book beneath one arm, a coffee in the other hand. The kind of ordinary moment nobody really plans. A simple question floating by through the afternoon. Is this seat taken? That's how it starts. Two strangers sharing sunlight, a table and an hour. Is this seat taken? Nothing more to say, but somehow the room feels warmer for the rest of the day. Reading quietly, the other watches rain. A few small words are exchanged, then silence comes again. Not every conversation needs somewhere to go. Sometimes it's enough just knowing someone else is close. Outside the city rushes, inside the time slows down, and two separate afternoons gently overlap somehow. The smallest kinds of kindness often stay the longest. Is this seat taken? That's how it starts. Two strangers sharing sunlight, a table and an hour. Is this seat taken? Nothing more to say, but somehow the room feels warmer for the rest of the day. That's why people love places built like this. Not because they know everyone, but because they don't have to. A little room for strangers, a little room for grace, a little room for ordinary days. Is this seat taken? The afternoon rolls on. One leaves with a smile, the other stays a while. Is this seat taken? A simple thing to say, yet somehow it becomes the nicest part of the day. a book upon the table. The city's moving somewhere, but there's nowhere I need to be. The afternoon is drifting at an easy kind of pace, and sunlight keeps on visiting the corners of this place. A page turns slowly, the coffee slowly cools, and for a little while the world feels beautifully small. No plans to hurry, no reason to rush, an hour to myself, and that's enough. A quiet little corner and a warm coffee cup, an hour to myself, watching the day go by, finding something lovely in ordinary time. Someone laughs across the room, someone waves goodbye, a barista calls a name, and another guest arrives. The room keeps changing gently, like a tide that comes and goes. But here beside the window, everything feels slow. The music keeps on playing softly in the air, and every little moment feels welcome here. Not every good day needs a reason why. An hour to myself, and that's enough. A quiet little corner and a warm coffee cup, an hour to myself, watching the day go by, finding something lovely in ordinary time. Maybe that's what peace is, not far away somewhere, just a comfortable chair, and time enough to notice the sunlight on the floor, the sound of cups and voices, the feeling of being exactly where you wanna be. An hour to myself, the afternoon unfolding, one small moment at a time, without needing anything more. An hour to myself, the world beyond the window, and everything exactly right for now. Everything exactly right for now. Everything exactly right for now. The last few cups are drying beside the kitchen sink. The sunlight left an hour ago, before I had time to think. A chair stands slightly crooked, someone forgot a scarf. A receipt still waits beside the till, like a bookmark for the day. The room is finally quiet, but somehow not alone. The echoes of the afternoon still feel a little close. Some days leave slowly, long after they are gone. See you tomorrow, that's what the doorway says to every laugh and conversation that passed through here today. See you tomorrow, another cup, another chair, another ordinary much longer than they planned. The table full of laughter, the usual afternoon guest. A rainy day that filled the room with stories and requests. It's funny how 100 lives can pass through one small place and leave behind a feeling that never really fades. Not every memory arrives as something big or grand. See you tomorrow, that's what the doorway says to every laugh and conversation that passed through here today. See you tomorrow, another cup, another chair, another ordinary moment waiting somewhere in the air. Tomorrow someone new will walk in, tomorrow someone will return. A familiar face, a brand new story, a page that's yet to turn. The coffee will be ready, the tables will be there, and life will keep arriving a little at a time. See you tomorrow, the lights are getting low, but somehow all the warmth remains even after people go. See you tomorrow, another day to come, another reason to unlock the door and let the morning in. Another reason to unlock the door and let the morning in. See you tomorrow. There's a dog outside the window, waiting by the door. His owner stands in line like they've done before. A tail that never stops moving, eyes that never rest, watching every passing stranger like each one is a guest. A child waves from the sidewalk, the dog looks back with pride, and suddenly 3 different people are smiling at the same time. Funny how the smallest things can change the room. The dog outside the window, making friends all day, without a single word to say. The dog outside the window, brightening the afternoon, just by being exactly who he is. Someone by the counter notices, someone by the glass. A woman reading near the corner looks up and starts to laugh. The owner finally gets the coffee and takes a seat nearby, but half the room keeps watching the little dog outside. He follows every pigeon, he studies every shoe, like the whole wide world is something completely new. Maybe that's the secret to a happy day. The dog outside the window, making friends all day, without a single word to say. The dog outside the window, brightening the afternoon, just by being exactly who he is. No plans to worry about, no schedules to keep, just sunlight on the pavement and people passing by. Maybe we're all a little jealous of a life that's simple. Every now and then, the dog outside the window, still watching as we leave, making ordinary moments a little easier to see. The dog outside the window, tail moving in the sun, and somehow everybody's day feels a little more fun. And somehow everybody's day feels a little more fun. A jacket on a chair, a coffee on the table, one seat still standing empty, waiting by the window. Someone's on the way, I hear a customer say, and somehow that small sentence makes the room feel different. The coffee keeps on steaming, the afternoon rolls by, and every few minutes a glance goes toward the door. Some people arrive early, some people arrive late. We'll save your table, we'll save your seat. The conversation's waiting for the moment that we meet. We'll save your table right here by the light. Some things are worth waiting for, even just a little while. The music keeps on playing, the cups keep coming through, the room keeps finding stories like cafés always do. Then suddenly the doorway opens, a familiar face appears, a smile crosses the room before a single word is heard. The empty chair isn't empty, the waiting finally ends, and another ordinary afternoon becomes a memory again. Some moments start quietly and stay with us for years. We'll save your table, we'll save your seat. The conversation's waiting for the moment that we meet. We'll save your table right here by the light. Some things are worth waiting for, even just a little while. Maybe that's what cafes do better than anywhere else. They make room for people to find each other again. A chair, a cup, a little time, and suddenly the day feels full. will save your table, the one beside the window, the one where laughter lingers long after people leave. We'll save your table until you walk inside. Another good story begins right on time. Another good story begins